Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my very first Flosstube video, so I'm excited about that. My name is Corinna. I live in South Carolina. I've been married for 13 years and I have an 8-year-old son. And just right off the bat, just to let you know, I do have a lazy eye, so if my eye is not looking at the camera while I'm talking, that's why, because I don't really control it half the time. So, just so you know, I am actually looking at the camera with my good eye at least. I have been cross-stitching on and off since I was at least 12, maybe even younger than that. I don't remember which one of my parents taught me how to cross stitch, because my mom knows how to cross stitch and my dad cross stitches. My dad cross stitches a lot. If he's in front of the television, he's got a cross stitch in his lap working on that. My grandfather used to cross stitch and embroider and all kinds of needlework, and he also worked with wood and made things that way, so he was very much the handy craft guy in the family. So yeah, they taught me when I was young, and I've kind of cross-stitched on and off over the years. Maybe finished one tiny little project in my entire life. I've kind of been a love it and leave it kind of person when it comes to cross-stitching, or I just have too many interests, so I always put it to the side to work on something different, like knitting or crocheting or something like that. And so in the past few months, in the past year, I opened an Etsy shop, and in January I put it in vacation mode because I was kind of burnt out trying to create stuff. I own an Etsy sticker shop, but not just for your planner. Not just that though, I sell also book sculptures that I make. I'll sell some of those every now and then. And I got kind of burnt out on just creating stuff to sell and make money, and I wasn't doing that great with it anyway either. So I decided to put my shop on vacation mode and just work on building up stock to go in the shop. But at the same time, I was having some pretty, not major health problems, but I was having some health problems that I haven't been able to figure out, going to doctors and that kind of thing. I haven't been able to figure out what was wrong with me. So in January, I discovered diamond painting, I think through a Facebook ad, and which diamond painting is kind of just like cross stitching, except you're using little rhinestones to make your picture. And so I got a little into diamond painting, and then I was watching diamond painting YouTube videos, and someone on a video mentioned Heaven and Earth Designs, and they were saying that people had turned heaven and earth charts into diamond paintings, and how there's thousands upon thousands of the rhinestones that you have to have for a heaven and earth design because they're so massive. And so I was curious, and I went onto their website and just fell in love with a lot of the art that they have on there. And I'm kind of a go big or go home person when it comes to crafting. I like starting big things, even if I don't finish them. So I went on Heaven and Earth Designs, and I found a chart that I really wanted to do. So I bought it, and I bought the material for it. I've never purchased my own material other than Ada for a cross stitch. I typically have only ever stitched with kits, that come with everything you need. And so it was very interesting finding out, hey, there's a lot of different fabric you can stitch on. And so I got my own fabric from Heaven and Earth, and I also got my very first needle minder. I had never heard of a needle minder in my life. And so I got my first needle minder with that order. And in the midst of all that, I found another Heaven and Earth chart that I wanted to do, but it was a mini. So I figured I'll start with the mini before I move on to the big one. I wanna do a mini first and see how much I like it and all that kind of stuff. So I ordered my mini chart, and then I bought all the DMC and I bought 28 count Monaco to go with it. And so that is basically where I started in January, and now I have about 4 that I'm getting ready to be working on 4 different whips. I have started 2 of them, and I'm getting ready to start the second 2. So yeah, I guess I will show you that now. So my current whips, this is the Heaven and Earth chart that I'm working on. It's a Harry Potter one with the Ravenclaw crest on it. I'm a big Harry Potter fanatic, and you will see in a minute how much. So this is my Q-snap. I've never stitched on a Q-snap before, and I love it, and I really only bought it so I could use grime guards because I thought they were the coolest things in the world. And so this is as far as I've gotten. Oh, not the middle finger. This is as far as I've gotten on that chart called Wisdom. And then here's my little needle minder, and then my grime guard that I got off of Etsy. And I'll link everything down below as best as I can. So that's at least 1,000 stitches, I think, probably. And so there's that one. And I have one, this is a stitch along that Stitch Mania is doing for a year-long thing. It's called Temperature Garden. And this is kind of what it's gonna look like. I don't know if that comes in well, but it's all the months of the year, and it's got these little flowers, and you stitch different colors based on what your temperature is that day in your city. And I have only just started this, so I'm still catching up. And this is what I've done so far for January. So this is the 1st through the 5th, and then the 6th through the 8th there. I haven't stitched much more on that because there's a color that I need for that. And so yeah. And my next thing, I got some stuff from Down Sunshine Lane. And of course, everybody knows Priscilla and Chelsea, and so I had to have this, so I pre-ordered their Chalk on the Farm pattern, and I really love that, so I got that from Down Sunshine Lane. And I also got just a couple of their mesh project bags. I've never used a project bag before, or much less the mesh ones, so I wanted to just kind of see what it's like, see what they were like. So here's like the smaller size, and they just send you whatever color they send you. And then here's a bigger one that I thought would fit into my Q-snap, but it doesn't, so it's just gonna hold a different project, probably Fresh Eggs Farm. And then I got a needle holder from them, which I think is just beautiful. It's this carved wood, and I just think it's really pretty. And it opens like that. It's got a screw top on it. But yeah, it's really pretty, and It came in this little bag, which is gorgeous. I actually use something like this in my Etsy shop for my paper clips that I make. And I got an order in from 123 Stitch, which is my fancy floss for Chalk on the Farm, and some fabric. I ordered just chalkboard black linen fabric. There was no description of what it was, and I ordered this size, and as you can see, you can completely see through it. So I don't know if I'm going to be using this for that or not. I might try a few stitches and see what it's like, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I did order another piece of it because this that I ordered is actually too small for the sampler, but it will work with the sign up here. So I can make that. I can use this for that if I like it. I don't know that I'm gonna like it, but we'll see. And so I got all of the fancy floss that I needed. I've never purchased any floss other than DMC, so this was really exciting to me. So this is Classic Colorworks Barn Door for the truck and the barn, and it's variegated, which I love. And this is Classic Colorworks Deep Blue Sea. So there's some different shades of blue in there. And the rest I have is the Gast colors. And this is Rhubarb. And Daffodil, which is the yellow. And then Shutter Green. And Baby Spinach. And let's see, this is Victorian Pink. And Chalk. So I'm still waiting on my slate floss to come in because they were out of that, but I should have that in a week or two so I can get started on Chalk on the Farm, which is exciting. And my last little bit of haul, I was watching Stitcherista, Danielle, I was watching her videos from the very beginning, and she mentioned the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery and their stitch-alongs that they do every year. Last year it was Happily Ever After, and I really liked the idea of that. I had seen the pattern I had seen somebody stitching Happily Ever After on YouTube, but I didn't remember where it came from. But it was the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, so I thought I would go and find out what their 2018 theme was, and it is Into the Jungle. So this is what we have so far. This is January and February, and they send you a piece of the pattern every month, so you'll get like one new square every month to add to your stitching. And they were selling them in kind of a bundle. You could get it with the fabric and the thread, or just the fabric, and I went ahead and bought it with just the fabric. And they also sent a floss card to hold your floss, which I don't know if I'll do that. It reminds me a lot of kits, and they just always got tangled, so I don't love storing my floss this way, but the card is really, really cute, so I might do something with that. And then the fabric that they chose for this chart is the 28 count Lugana in the color Shale by Picture This Plus, which I think is gorgeous. Like I said, I've never used a lot of fabric other than Aida and an even weave here and there, and I love hand-dyed. Like, this is my first hand-dyed fabric, and I love it, and I hope I love stitching on it even more. So yeah, that's really all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you will join me again in my next video. So have a good day. Thanks.